Welcome to another Crafty Thursday. I'm Franky, and this week we'll be making some trees out of branches. This was a very simple project to make, and it shows that you don't necessarily need to make something very complicated for your table. These are perfect for filler. They aren't the main piece for the encounter, but they definitely set the mood for the rot. The rot is a place of stagnation, and what better way to show stagnation than to show trees with no leaves, leaves that normally represent the passing of seasons. Also, to avoid stagnation, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying my madness here on the channel. Let's get this project going. First of all, you will need to go outside and get yourself some twigs. Don't settle for just any. Make sure they aren't weak. After that, get some soap and scrub off the surfaces. Get a pot of water and throw in your twigs. Boil the twigs for a while. I think I left mine boiling for about an hour. I feel comfortable working on these now. It is possible to use baking soda and super glue to make the trees more intricate, but it's not necessary. I work on a single tree and then move on to just using them as they are. I simply cut them to the preferred size. Now let's cut some bases and glue some branches. I'm using some pink foam from a felt project that I attempted to do a while back. The technique I use here is practically the same technique I use on the cliffs video. I just round off some of the edges and get my twigs ready for gluing. Next thing you want to do is add some texture to the base. I'm using my classic mix. If you want to learn how to make it, check out this video here. I'll add a timestamp in the description for simplicity's sake. The only difference is that this time around, instead of using coffee, I use sand to mix in with the caulk. I make sure to add tacky glue to help the bigger pebbles stick. I add black Mod Podge mix to help everything stay together. Let's get to the painting part. This will mainly be painting in browns. My challenge will be to make it look interesting. I choose two different browns, using a reddish one as my base for the trees and another more natural brown for the ground. I paint the rocks gray. And then I dry brush everything with a light gray. I realized that the brown for the ground was too dark. If I wash it, it'll make it even darker. and there won't be any noticeable contrast. It will be a waste of a wash. I go back and add a lighter brown. Then I dry brush it all again. It's time for the washes, or the shades if you're into Citadel, I guess. I make sure to add washes that correspond to the section of the piece. For example, I have homemade washes for browns that are on the warmer side. It's more of a red brown. I'll use that for the ground. On the trees themselves, I'll use a dark brown wash. And on the stones, I use a cool black wash. I also make sure to add lowlights to add contrast. All that needs to be done now is to dry brush one last time. This time, you want to mix brown and white. Add it in layers. And I think that should be it. Hey, I almost forgot about flocking. I kinda messed it up on the last video. Let's see how I do this time. The plan here is not to cover it with another layer of glue after I'm done gluing it. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. I think that the foam flock is actually better with the way it sticks to the PVA glue, so I'm gonna test it out and leave it the way it is. These were extremely easy to make, and I hope that those who hate working with wire as much as I do enjoy its simplicity. Just make sure that you're taking the right precautions to sanitize your branches. Now, like always, I like to thank my patrons, they the best, and if you'd like to join the best and support the channel, please check out our Patreon page. Like always, I like to thank everybody for their time, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!